This is my 2018 KTM 350 SXF. I got 30 hours on this bike, and I'm telling you guys, I love this bike. My confidence in this and my riding skills have increased tenfold since I've been on this thing. It somehow feels so much bigger underneath me that it just plants. I'm 6 foot, 195 pounds. And I used to come into a corner slow and then blast out on my 250. But now my momentum, I carry it through. It just feels so much bigger underneath me, this bike. And I'm able to keep my speed in the corners. And when I do come out of the turn, this thing has still plenty of get up to dig. So my confidence level, and it loves to fly. You know, sometimes you go up the face of a jump and it'll cross rut you, or if it's just not perfect face, it'll throw you sideways a little bit. On accident, unplanned whip. This thing revs so freaking high, you guys, that you literally just hit that jump, and as soon as it starts to pull out on you, you just pin it, and it just pulls it right back underneath you. I don't think I'd change one thing on this thing. The suspension's kind of finicky, but once you dial it in, and it's just a matter of a few clicks here, a few clicks there, air pressure up front. I'm finding that 145 pounds per pressure and about 14 clicks is perfect for me. It stops the bike from diving, and it stops it from bottoming too. So, and the back shock, I went into just 2 turns on the high speed and 12 clicks out, and it stops all the chatter. It plants so nice. This thing really rips. If you rev it, even if you're not riding at championship speed, you'll freaking sound like you are, and you'll feel like you are. And you can double out of a turn on this thing. Like literally, you just hang off the back a little bit, slip that clutch, and just hold the gear. It revs so high, and you fly off the face of that jump, and it springs you up. And then once you're up there, the bike's like a bigger bike than a 250. So you feel like you have all this room to move around on, you know. You don't feel like you're on this little pit bike underneath you. And man, it just adds to your confidence. And you start passing guys up, and you start seeing guys at the track. I ride Verona every week, and you know, I was more balls than skill. But over the years, I've developed some tricks and a few techniques to keep me quick as everyone else, but at great peril to my safety. Now, on this thing, I'm literally keeping up with dudes that, you know, have been consistently faster than me, and I'm seeing them at the track every weekend still, and I'm just getting my speed up, and I'm just hanging with these dudes, and it's such a good feeling to just go, whoa, I'm keeping up with everybody. And I'm clearing all the jumps with confidence, not like this thing where you go off and you're in the air and you're like, okay, whatever's next, I'm just going to deal with it. Now it's like I'm going up, I'm planting them jumps, I'm hitting the air, I'm tapping my brake, I'm doing whatever I got to do. And then I'm thinking about it all as it's happening, you know. It's just because this bike's just so freaking badass. I mean, I have a 2012 450 Honda. I love the bike, but it's nothing like this. I can't even explain it until you ride it. It's like, I don't know, there's no freaking words, but I'm going to start this thing up for you guys real quick, and then I'll put this on Facebook. I want anyone thinking about getting a 350 and just not sure to fucking buy this bike. I'm telling you, these 350s are where it's at. You still have that RPM, like you're in it, you're committed, you feel like a pro, bike's screaming, you're roaring, and that's how it's meant to be ridden. It's not like you're ripping it up. It's meant to be ridden like that. And yet you don't have that 450 weight, that weird clug thing where you're chugging around the track in third gear, blap, 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 clearing the jumps and stuff, but you're not feeling in it like you're freaking hauling ass, you know? You just have that 450, and every night a couple guys will roost you and you'll catch back up. You know, that gets boring. This thing keeps you in the moment. You're riding the fuck out of it. And I recommend this bike to everybody. I was going to start it, but my wife just came out to smoke, so I'll start it up tomorrow. I'll do a better video. And it's just a simple little graphics kit. I got my name and my little 88 on the sides. I mean, it's just a good looking bike right off the rack. So if you guys are wondering about buying a 350, I'm telling you, you won't regret it at all. You won't regret buying this bike. This is a 2018. They made a few improvements, I guess, on the 19s and the 20s with the slotted air cover and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if that helps or not. But this thing is so cool. Such a kick-ass bike. The traction control actually works, believe it or not. I'll just talk about that real quick. So, you know, the 450s, you over blip and your back end washes out. 250s, you know, you slip that clutch a little bit too soon and your body ain't right and all that. You can slide out to the left or the bike kicks on you. This traction control. So you come in, you set for your turn, right? You tap your brake, whatever, you put your leg out and you roll into that turn. You can literally, instead of slipping the clutch or doing that little rev thing we do out of a turn, you can just dump this thing, bury it right on as you come into the turn, and it will, I don't even know how, magically stop this thing from sliding out. It just rolls the power on so smooth that you can focus on your balance and your body position, and then right as it bites, it just digs. It just does not slide out. I mean, it will, don't get me wrong, but there's no accidental blips around the turn and flying off the handlebars and shit. This thing is just an amazing bike. I ride it on the second setting with the traction control on, because I ride Barona a lot and the track's kind of slippery here and there, especially when you first go on there. You guys know they over water it and all that here and there, but I mean, this thing is really awesome. I mean, you can get an 18 brand new GP cycles for $7,500, and these were 10 grand when they were new. So I mean, and they're still like 0 hours on them. GP cycles, that's where I got this. I got this for 7 G's. By the time I got the door, it was like 76 something, and I made them throw in a pair of gloves and some goggles. But yeah. Oh yeah, Harley too. I mean, this is the best of both worlds right here. Blow, blow. Fuck you, coronavirus, motherfucker. All right, guys, that's my video on the 350. I would fire it up for you real quick, but
Jason,
yeah, son. You want to ride this thing?
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. He likes to ride on this.
On there?
No, here's his little dirt bike. Look, you guys. That's why I love motocross, man. So, oh, she's going inside. I'm gonna fire this motherfucker up one time. Sitting a little bit. Watch this thing pop. Look how quick the throttle is fucking. Oops. You hear that little pop though? It's almost like a fucking pow, you motherfucker. It's cold. It's been sitting too because I haven't ridden it because of coronavirus. Watch this. Listen to this pop. Hear that? Woo-hoo-hoo. Instant. This thing is so badass. Anyways, what's up, YouTube? Buy the 350. This thing is so fucking badass. I want to ride around, and my neighbors hate me, by the way. Anyways, that's the KTM 350 SXF 2018 model. You can get a brand new one, probably with 0 hours on it for 7 G's. Or you can get one with 30 hours like mine. I have 30 hours on this bike. Look, you guys. I haven't, God forbid, I haven't laid it down one time, and I've tripled on it. I've hit all the jumps at Paula, all the jumps at Barona. I haven't had a chance to go down. Look how much tread I still got. This thing's like spotless. It's because I stay out front on young motherfuckers. No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, literally, this bike is awesome. Oh, yeah, and there's some cool things about this. So you can adjust your levers with just the dial. In case you have a big hand, a small hand. You turn this, it brings it closer or farther. I'm one of those weirdos. The clutch has got to be all the way in. So I cut my grip. And then what else? Oh yeah, hydraulic brakes, hydraulic clutch, hour meter built in right there. Another cool thing about this bike. So these clamps right here for the for your bars, they flip around backwards. It brings the bars out this way or pulls them back that way. So if you're a taller rider or you like just one of those dudes that just got to be all up on top. You can scoot these bars forward, and then you don't have to lift them up as much. So you can move the bars back and then flip the clamps and slide it forward, and you get that more bigger riding area. I love that about this bike, and that comes stock. What else? Oil's super easy to change. Blink right there. Unless you have this skid plate on it, which I put on there, which is a pain in the ass. But I pop the back out with a screwdriver and tie it to the front tire so it forces it forward so I can get in there without having to take the skid plate all the way off. And what else? What else? It's just fucking badass, dude. Look at this thing. I mean, just imagine it sitting in your garage, right? Fuck, you come out every night and just say goodnight, my bike. See you tomorrow. Every time I go to work in the morning, I leave out of the garage, I can just look at it. I'm just like, yeah, that's my fucking shit. And it's really, my skill level's increased on this bike. Those little techniques I learned on my little 250s and everything else, really, I mean, it's just like this bike was meant for me. Anyways, that's my video on the KTM 350 2018. Buy this bike, you guys. I'm telling you right now. It's as fast as a 450 and faster than a 250. I'm telling you, this thing is as fast as a 450. You work that clutch and rev this thing out a little bit, you're going to go just right next to a 450 on a drag down the track. I fucking promise you. I'm 200 pounds almost, 195. I'll drag any 450 on this thing. Side by side, I mean, it's going to take a lot out of you to pass me on a 450 on a straightaway. It's like right there, you guys. You rev this thing out, it'll just hold its own right next to it. Plus, it's lighter, corners better, it's revs, it's more solid, you know. I feel like a 450 is just like, you know, hey, look at me. I can chug the track in third gear. If I could ride a 450 like it was meant to be ridden, then I guess I wouldn't be talking shit. But since I can't, and most of you guys are like me, you can't. Okay, we're not pros. This is what we need. This is right here. We're just a little too good for a 250, but we ain't all that on a 450. It just becomes a chore to ride it. And we end up doing the whole track in third gear. Get this thing, dude. You'll feel like you had so much fun when you get off it. And you'll be like, damn, dude, it was the greatest day at the track. All right. Enough for me, man. I'm Jason Cothran. Peace out by the 350.